facial recognition to identify participants. Organizers say the law aims to intimidate and silence critics, not protect children, as the government claims. Opposition lawmakers argue the law is a direct assault on civil liberties and democracy. Organizers still plan to hold a march, calling it the largest ever in Hungary. Pablo Gutierrez, Budapest.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. It's Friday the 13th. Just thought I better drop that in early. It's Friday the 13th. Good morning, and welcome to another show here today. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports you need to get out the door here this morning. Going to be talking about the College World Series that gets underway today in Omaha. Grand Island Senior High announcing some coaching changes for the upcoming season. Some big wins yesterday in Legion Baseball for Hastings 5 Points Bank playing at home against the Wesco Zephyrs. And for Hastings, Johnson Imperial Homes, they're playing in the Big Sticks tournament up in Rapid City, South Dakota. Hastings Sodbusters picking up a big win last night. An exciting game in the Stanley Cup Finals last night. The NBA playoffs are continuing this evening. The Kansas City Royals, they were swept by the New York Yankees this week, including last night's 1-0 victory for the Yanks. Also going to be talking about a little NASCAR news this morning. Some news involving my guy, Denny Hamlin. Also going to be talking about the U.S. Open, which is going on this week in Oakmont, Pennsylvania. So all that and more is on the table here this morning. We expect to hear from Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. Going to be talking ponies at 7:30 this morning. Now moving to Columbus. We had a few days in Lincoln, and now moving on to Columbus for horse racing. So we'll see what's on tap at the new Columbus facility. And Jim checks in with us at 7:30 this morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios this morning. Good morning.
And a good morning, Mike, as we get up here and on this finally Friday morning. Busy day yesterday. I was over at Grand Island for the little presentation Midwest Tourism Conference. We got to talk a little bit about the Extreme Sports story and what we're all about, and kind of dive into the power of podcasting with a lot of community leaders from all across the Midwest. Just a really fun opportunity there. So getting a little exposure, seeing a little extra traffic in the live lobbies here this morning as we typically do on our Fun Friday show. So looking forward to diving into all the topics. I guess we can start off on the ice with the thriller that you mentioned in overtime winner, Leon Draisaitl. Apparently you need to cover him if it's in overtime in hockey. He's found a couple game winners for the Edmonton Oilers, found another one last night, and Edmonton now nods that baby up at 2 games apiece. And so all these pundits out there that were talking about, the NBA Finals are going to be kind of boring, the Thunder are going to roll, the Florida Panthers are so loaded and they're just going to roll, and you kind of start believing the quote-unquote experts that are out there making some of these predictions, and you're also kind of just tuning out because apparently these finals are going to be boring. Well, guess what? Edmonton takes the fight right back to Florida. Indiana took the fight right back to OKC, and I think we've got 2 good series on our hand in both the NBA and the NHL as we close out the winter sports season that are going on into summer, as we close out the 2 major sports before baseball gets underway with their postseason.
You'll be so proud of me this morning.
What's that?
I actually watched the end, not all the way to the end, but I watched the end of regulation of the hockey game last night. Florida actually tied that game with 17 seconds left. They tied the game to force overtime. Then I had to leave and come home.
Then I had to go to bed.
Yeah, well, no, I was out eating after my baseball game last night, so they had it on. So I watched the end of hockey, and then I had to go. And I checked the score this morning and saw that Edmonton wins in overtime over Florida last night, 5-4. So you should be proud of me. Those are the first minutes that I've watched of the NHL season, and it comes here in the month of June, on June the 12th, actually. Last night.
Those tears. It's not allergy season, guys. I mean, I'm legitimately happy that Mike will watch some hockey. It's not allergy season at all. What'd you think? 17 seconds. You see the drama. You kind of see why people can get behind the hype.
How does a guy score a goal? I looked at that and says, "Wait a minute." My wife was with me, and I said, "How does a guy score a goal with 17 seconds to go in regulation? All those guys are in front of the net, and this guy puts this puck through about 6 guys right in front of the net, and it slides into the corner of the net for the tying goal. How does that happen?"
Yeah, well, if you're a St. Louis Blues fan, you ask how it happens with 1.87 or 1.8 seconds left on the clock. That was the dramatic Winnipeg goal to send it to overtime, where Winnipeg ultimately won an OT.
That's like in football.
Guys are really good.
Yeah, that's like in football. You throw the Hail Mary pass for a touchdown. It doesn't happen all the time.
Nope.
But this guy, he scores with I think it was 15 point something seconds left in regulation to tie the game up, and then they go into overtime, and Edmonton goes on to win by the score of 5-4. So if you haven't watched any hockey, hey, you might try it. There's still a couple of games left. That series now tied up at 2 games apiece. You mentioned the NBA Finals. They are heading into game number 4 tonight. Oklahoma City playing at Indiana. The Pacers won Wednesday's game by a point, 111 to 110. So that's been a very competitive series. I vaguely remember you telling me the over-under for that game was at 228 the other day.
Yeah.
And you were all over the overs. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? 111 to 110 adds up to 221 points.
You might know.
Yeah, you were all over the overs on that the other day. So Indiana won, and it went unders. I think you had Oklahoma City in overs.
Yeah.
I still think Oklahoma City is going to win that series. I think I said way before the series even started, I liked Oklahoma City in 6. So that's still a possibility, I guess. They got to win the next 3 to get that done. So
guys are playing some ball.
Yep, that's in the NBA and NHL championship series. I did catch the excitement yesterday from Rocco's.
Yeah, I literally had this pulled up on my phone so I could give you the scoring update. Two great minds think alike.
Yeah, the network, our network, when we're not on from 7 until 8, our network is in Omaha this week for the College World Series, and they're set up at Rocco's. And they were having a great time. Yeah, they were set up at Rocco's yesterday having a great time as they're getting ready for the College World Series. And the big thing is at Rocco's, if you haven't heard about this, is Jell-O shots. Mm-hmm. And they evidently serve a hell of a lot of Jell-O shots because the LSU fans hold the record for Jell-O shots at Rocco's. 68,000.
Yeah.
Jell-O shots that they consume. I think it was last year or the year before when they made their College World Series appearance. I guess all the fans head to Rocco's and have Jell-O shots to support your favorite team. The LSU fans, 68,000 Jell-O shots to win the competition. I think it was a couple of years ago. And LSU back in the College World Series again this year. And they don't play until 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
And they're already off to a flying start. They're
Really?
already off to they are already off to 525 Jell-O shots. Again, they don't play till tomorrow night. This is like day 1. We haven't even thrown the first pitch of the College World Series, and we're already starting the Jello Shot Challenge off. LSU with 525. And what did I tell you? Who would be everybody's baby down there? Who would be
Murray
the darlings?
State.
Murray State at 385 is in second place.
Really?
Just exactly lockstep in how I kind of told you that would go. That you'd have a lot of neutrals that would be propelling for Murray State. That's clear and obvious.
So do they have a web page where you can stay up to date on this, or how are you pulling up this very important information today?
I am pulling this up via the Rocco's social media accounts on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And they post the updates. The next one they said is going to come at 1 p.m. this afternoon.
The next update?
The next update at 1 p.m. So we're giving them an 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. window to knock down as many $5 Jello shots as possible.
So they just give the top two?
No. There's the whole board.
Who else is up there?
Board.
Yeah, who else is up there?
Louisville coming in third at 298.
All right.
Coastal Carolina at 277. Hog Suey at 235. Arkansas Razorbacks. And Oregon State. Nice. 69 for Oregon State.
Only 69 Jello shots for Oregon State?
They're way out west. They probably haven't even got into town yet. You will notice a big difference between teams in the South and teams kind of essentially located to teams way out west. Because you have Oregon State at 69. You have Arizona at 55. And then UCLA, pricks out in California, 39.
That's all they can handle.
39.
That's all they can handle. There's probably one guy, too. Probably one fan for UCLA
One Bruin fan.
That made the early trip to the College World Series. He sat in Rocco's and had 39 Jello shots.
Calculate that, though. At $5 a shot, and you're out of the gates with 1,000 between LSU and Murray State. No, that's not right. I can't do math. 900 between LSU and Murray State. 900 at $5 a piece. Rocco's is making bank.
Now, I'm not familiar with Rocco's. I don't know if I've ever been there. Obviously, it's close to the stadium down there.
Yeah.
So LSU is taking the lead. Now, this competition goes on for the entire duration of the College World Series. So, although LSU has the early lead, they pummeled the competition last year or the year before.
It was the year before when they went to the finals.
Yeah.
When they went to the finals and won 2 years ago.
That's when they had 68,000 Jello shots. And like the next closest team to them was like at 37 or 38,000, I heard from the Beeson guys. So anyway, they're on hand live at Rocco's at the College World Series. So when we're finished here today, you can listen to the guys live from Rocco's in Omaha. I'm going to give you a homework assignment for the weekend.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to give you a homework assignment. Your goal this week.
Jello shot?
No, your goal this week is the next best thing to taking a Jello shot. Let's get a hold of somebody from Rocco's.
Huh.
Call down there.
World Series weekend?
Call down there and see if there's anybody that wants to be on the show next week.
You want me to
you call.
a bar
You call Rocco's during the College World Series and see if they
serving
answer.
900 Jello shots on the daily, and you want me to say, hey, do you got like 5 minutes where I can chit and chat with you?
Well, at 7:30, like in the morning next week sometime. They're probably open, aren't they? I bet they open the bar early during the College World Series.
I think 7 might be excessive, even for a bar.
So they might be there. They might be able to get on the horn with us. That is your homework assignment. You look up Rocco's. Look it up in Omaha. Call down there and see if you can get somebody on the horn next week with us. Any day next week.
I'll see what I can do.
See what you can do. That's your homework assignment. Because I'm now intrigued by this Jello shot contest. Now that you got me all the standings and everything, I'm ready to go. I am probably more fired up on the Jello shot contest at Rocco's than I am for the College World Series that we have nobody in
That's outstanding.
So that's your homework assignment for the week.
Could just call the VSIN guys.
Could do that. Yeah, they're already live anyway.
They're already there.
So see what you can do. That'd be fun to talk to those guys. My wife, I was telling my wife about it last night, and she had that funny look in her face. She says, "How would you like to be making all those Jell-O shots? How would you like to sit down and make all those Jell-O shots each and every day?"
Suppose that they're pre-made and stored somewhere, right?
Well, you've got to.
How many coolers of Jell-O shots? Like, I have so many questions.
Yeah, and
where do you store the Jell-O shots?
They're in different flavors. You know, what's the most popular flavor? There is so many things that we could talk about if we just had a representative from Rocco's on this show.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
All right, that's your homework assignment.
They also do like a bunch of national spotlights. So, like, if it's between us and ESPN,
Hell, put us before that.
we're local, right?
Put us before
On the
that.
show, it'll be great.
This is Central Nebraska's newest and most popular morning show. Throw your weight around a little bit. Tell them Mike and Tyson we're calling. We need to get you on the show.
Ty Schleicher saying that Professor Extreme is handing out homework assignments. I love it. Edmonton had an excellent comeback.
They did after Florida tied the score with 15 seconds to go.
Got Jim chiming in. Let's send Mike in his camper to Omaha and set up in the parking lot of Rocco's and broadcast live. It would be better than the Walmart parking lot. There you go. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's just send a camper up to Omaha.
You and I, we
God.
could beach out in the camper and do our show
Monday
from the
morning.
RV. I bet we couldn't get down there with the camper. Like I said,
Not a chance in hell.
if it's down by the stadium, there's not a chance of us even getting down there. So when
Can you
we
imagine how pissed Rocco's would be if we pull up into the camper into their parking lot
take up about 10
on
spots,
the busiest week of the year?
we get thrown out.
Oh, tossed.
Tossed before we even set up. Get the awning out. We'd be tossed.
Be the earliest we've ever been kicked out at a bar.
So
Didn't even walk in the door. Just nope.
you guys are out. But
Set
we're
up
Mike.
podcasting equipment in their bar, which is already going to be busy.
Take up about 7 tables. Yeah, I'm not sure how big this place is. I've never been to Rocco's. If anybody's been to Rocco's in Omaha, would you chime in with us?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, chime in with us. I don't know anything about Rocco's. I've just heard about it in the past, and I've heard about it a lot because I listened to the network a lot yesterday. They were having a great time at Rocco's. So if you've been there, knows where it's at, or knows anything about Rocco's, chime in with us. You can call us on our fan line, so to speak, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. Leave us a message on any one of our social media sites.
So we walked by 2 years ago when we went to the College World Series. We went for like an elimination game with like Texas A&M and Arkansas, I believe. Irrelevant point to who was playing. We walked by Rocco's, and my anxiety levels just spiked.
So you know where Rocco's is
I
at.
know where it's at, yeah, but
So where is it?
it's down in the whole area there, right by the ballpark, and
Where everybody else is at, all the other bars down there?
yeah, all the other bars down there. So we're walking by Rocco's, and it's just this massive heap of people, like way crowds, just social anxiety overload.
That's where everybody goes.
Yeah, that's where they all congregate to. And I just said, let's go to the craft beer place. Let's get an
So
IPA.
you bypassed Rocco's.
We bypassed Rocco's.
Oh, that was a great
We
choice.
didn't want to fight the crowd. We would have never got a beer. By the time we would have got a beer,
The game would have been
it
over.
would have been the fourth inning. So
Yeah,
we bypassed that.
That was a great choice on your part. Real popular choice. Bypassing Rocco's for a craft beer place.
It was a great choice on my part.
Very popular choice.
But it doesn't lead a whole lot to giving you my experiences of Rocco's at the College World Series. I just saw the crowd and I said, oh, hell no.
Okay. I knew somebody would have information on where Rocco's is at. Down the first base line, southwest corner of the stadium, across the street. Hell, no wonder they're so popular. They're down the first base line.
It's a pretty accurate description.
So if you know where the stadium's at, just get to the stadium. It's down the first base line, southwest corner of the stadium, across the street. Rocco's. That's where it's at. That's your homework assignment. We got to dive more into this. You got, what do you got? You got, today is the 13th.
It's Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. The championship series doesn't start until June 21st. So you got a whole week to get somebody on this show from Rocco's. That's what the co-producer of this show does. He lines up interesting interviews, and that's your role. You've got to know your role in this show. I take care of the business stuff on this show. You take care of lining up somebody from Rocco's to talk about Jell-O shots.
Just thinking I could probably just drive down there and do a live interview.
Right there from Rocco's.
You're giving me a homework assignment to go to a bar, like best boss ever.
Well, if that's what it's going to take to get somebody on from Rocco's, I'll talk to the bookkeeper. Yeah, if that's what it's going to take to get somebody on from Rocco's, that you go down personally and make an appearance at Rocco's.
Yeah.
Live on the morning show. Then we'll get it handled.
And I'll have to do a Jell-O shot.
Oh yeah, at least one. So somebody's gonna have to go with you. Because when you have one, it's like eating chips. It's like eating Doritos. After you have one, you're gonna have two. So we're gonna send somebody with you, so you can hang out with your LSU fans.
Oh, that's so sweet.
At Rocco's. So whatever it takes to get this homework assignment completed, you just let me know.
I was just going to ask, who do you want me to put the tallies on for the Jell-O shot challenge?
If you're going to support Murray State, you might as well.
I'm also behind LSU.
Well, have 10 Jell-O shots for LSU and 10 for Murray State.
That's $50.
I'm not supplying that.
That's $50. I know that's not in the budget.
So it's $5 a piece for a Jell-O shot?
$5 a piece.
All right, I'll splurge for one. Just to get you down there. I'll splurge for one. Maybe.
Jim's all on that assignment.
Yeah, Jim says we're making the best advertising pitch ever for Rocco's.
Oh, yeah, this is, by the way, it's non-solicited at all. Rocco's has not contacted us to
talk about this.
The first 20 minutes of airtime on a Friday morning.
Yeah, we've just burned through our first 20-minute segment talking about Rocco's. That was not on my page for today, although I was going to bring it up.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to spend 20 minutes talking about Rocco's.
I didn't know I was getting a homework assignment on a Friday. Worst teacher ever.
Well, you don't have to
work on it.
You don't have to have it completed for about 8 days.
Yeah.
So see what you can do. That's your homework assignment.
Accepted.
Let's see. A couple other things we'll get to. The U.S. Open is going on in golf. J.J. Spahn. He's the leader after the first day.
Okay.
J.J. Spahn shot a 66 yesterday.
Yeah, he was on my bingo card.
Yeah, one-shot lead. He's the only player that played the round without a bogey or worse on the day number one. He's never played this course. J.J. Spahn. First player with a bogey-free round at Oakmont since Dustin Johnson's first round in 2016. Johnson went on to win his first major championship and finished the tournament at 5 under par. So J.J. Spahn is the leader of the U.S. Open. 66 yesterday, never played the course. Let's see if he can. Let's see if he can pull some magic off and win this thing. That would be an upset winner in the U.S. Open. Yeah, do you have J.J. Spahn on your bingo card?
I didn't. Isn't there like a dentist that's playing in this U.S. Open that just like won a qualifier?
Oh,
and
I'm sure.
His day job is like just a dentist.
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys in the U.S. Open that work through like the qualifying rounds, and there's a bunch of them across the nation. There's probably some guys like, they're probably better than you and me on the golf course.
Say it isn't so.
Yeah, there's probably some guys just a shade better than you and I that are playing in the U.S. Can you imagine you and me teeing up for the U.S. Open?
No.
God. That would be so embarrassing. And they put us in a pairing together. You and me. We tee off the
Imagine how slow.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They put us the first guys off of the tee box. You and me. Now, from Hastings, Nebraska, Tyson Havrotic. What? Who? What? Who are these guys?
An hour later, when we tap in our quadruple bogey putts and the rest of the group gets underway, and the TV schedule is like, by the way, coverage has now been extended until 11 p.m.
because of these goofs.
It's two schmucks.
So after you line up your first tee shot and it boinks out there about 15 feet to the right, now on the first tee, also from Hastings, Nebraska, Michael Will. What? Who's his guy?
Jim's already calling in.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry,
Jim.
News break yet?
Sorry, Jim. We're all screwed up today. Michael Will is at the tee box right now. Michael Will's at the tee box, and I shank it over about 7 feet to the left. That'd be great. That'd be great. All right, we're going to talk ponies coming up with Jim. Jim, you hang on. I know you probably have nothing to do today, but you hang on while Mike and Tyson muddle our way through our news break here. It's already 7:26 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We will start off in Kearney, where a new $95 million health science education center is under construction at the University of Nebraska-Kearney and is set to open early next year. The 110,000 square foot facility, developed in partnership with the University of Nebraska Medical Center, aims to address the critical shortage of healthcare professionals in rural Nebraska. Meanwhile, the individual who tragically lost his life after being struck by a train in Wood River on the evening of June 8th has been identified as Jason Polka, a 44-year-old resident of Illinois. The Hall County Sheriff's Office reported that deputies responded to the incident and found Polka's abandoned vehicle nearby. It appears the death was self-inflicted. The authorities are continuing with their investigation. City of Hastings and the Business Improvement District are hosting a public open house to discuss the future of public art in downtown Hastings. The open house is part of the ongoing development of the Heartbeat Creative District, which was designated as a Nebraska Creative District back in November. The district encompasses the historic downtown area and aims to utilize the arts as an economic driver to support the community by telling its stories and elevating the value of arts. The event takes place on Tuesday, June 25th, from 5 until 6:30 at the Hastings Public Library. It is 7:27. We'll spin things back over your way, Mike. What's going down in sports?
Well, the College World Series will get underway today in Omaha. 1 o'clock game, Coastal Carolina against Arizona, followed by Oregon State against Louisville at 6. Tomorrow, UCLA will play Murray State at 1, followed by Arkansas against LSU at 6. Grand Island Senior High has announced some coaching changes for the upcoming season. Damon Rodriguez will take over the girls wrestling program. Rodriguez has been with the Barr Middle School girls and boys wrestling program for the past year. Robert Almquist is the new boys soccer coach. He's been an assistant coach of the program since 2016. And Bailey Moritz is the new cheerleading coach. Moritz served as the cheer coach at Bellevue West in 2023. She also serves as the special education teacher at Howard Elementary. In American Legion baseball action last night, Hastings 5 Points Bank beat the Wesco Zephyrs 11-3. Chance Burton had a big game yesterday with 3 hits, including 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. Caleb Wallmeyer and Nick Musel had 2 hits apiece. Ashton Haas was the winning pitcher. Hastings is now 11-4 in the season and will play Grand Island USAVE and Seward coming up on Saturday. Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes beat Rapid City 11-3 yesterday in the Big Sticks tournament in Rapid City. JIH hammered out 14 base hits in the game, including 3 from Brennan Chris. Luke Nolet was the winning pitcher. Hastings is now 9-4 in the season and will play Casper, Wyoming at 3:30 this afternoon. Hastings Sodbusters, they beat Casper 4-0 last night in Casper. Cooper Harrell and Brock Cross each had 2 hits for the Sodbusters. The two teams split their 4-game series in Casper and now will play 3 games in Hastings beginning tonight. First pitch will be at 6:35. New York Yankees completed a 3-game sweep with the Kansas City Royals with last night's 1-0 victory. Kansas City will play host to the Athletics tonight. The Athletics tonight, first pitch will be at 7:10 in Kansas City. That's a sports update coming up on 7:30 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Warm summer-like conditions continue as we head into the weekend and beyond. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. Today, we'll have a day with no wind almost, and that'll be great. 87 is the high, just a slight chance for a few showers. Southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we'll have partly cloudy skies, an overnight low of 65. On Saturday, an outside chance for a few passing storms. Other than that, 92 degrees. 90 on Sunday and 90s next week.
I like it. Toes in the sand this weekend. We have partly cloudy skies this morning. It is 65 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
All right, Mike Wills, Heinzen of Bronick with you Friday the 13th here on this day. Didn't even mention that in our first segment.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I mentioned it was Friday the 13th, but we didn't expand on that.
Very superstitious.
Anyway, Chief checking in. You guys would make the not-so top 10 on Sports Center.
That we would.
We were talking about our
We'd have
golf
the entire
team.
highlight reel.
We were talking about our potential of maybe teeing it up for the U.S. Open. Mm-hmm. Says you guys would not make the not-so top 10 on Sports Center. Anyway, 7:33, it's a Friday, and you know that if he's still on, but you know what that means.
They're moving in the gate.
And down the stretch they come in the Kentucky Derby, and Barbaro is running away. It's Edgar Prado aboard, and
All right, each and every Friday we like to check in with Jim Sliker of the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. Jimmy, you still hanging with us? I know you called earlier, and me and Tyson got kind of on a couple of tangents we had to expand. You ever been to Rocco's in Omaha?
No, but I'm thinking of a new tradition. You know, you got the Jello shots for baseball, so we can't really do that. But I think we need to set up right across from the Kentucky Derby, and we'll have bourbon shots because we're right in the center of bourbon country. And you select what horse you like in the Derby. You come over, you have your Jello shot or your bourbon shots, and I'm going to finance my new horse.
Wow.
That's outstanding.
Great idea, Jimmy. I'll take it up with our executive counsel and our bookkeeper here on the next opportunity.
We could call the horse shot challenge.
And then we'll bring Tyson and you out. We'll bring Tyson and you out there. We'll do the extreme sports straight from Churchill, and we'll be able to interview them right on site.
I like your thinking, Jimmy. I like your thinking. Anyway, we are moving from Lincoln, and now our attention is on Columbus. Tell me about the track in Columbus.
Well, Columbus opened up last year with a brand new track. It's a 1 mile facility. It's located northwest of Columbus here. Beautiful facility. Nice little grandstand they got there. This 1 mile track, it's what the people have wanted. Everybody says we need to have a 1 mile track. Well, Columbus went out and did it, and kudos to them. So now they started racing there last year, and we've got 15 days of racing coming up starting today. They'll race on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Fridays post time, 5 p.m. So it's really nice. Get off work, come out to the track, have a few refreshments, and watch some live racing, take in the entertainment. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, first post time will be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So great opportunity to come out and enjoy the fun. And it's very family-oriented. Even though it's at the Harris Casino there's a separate entrance for bring your kids, so they can take in all the action too and be right up next to the rail for the racing.
Jim Sliker again joining us this morning here on Huddle Up. Ty, by the way, says happy early birthday to you, Jim. So we'll pass along the happy early birthday wishes to you. Let's talk a little bit about Columbus in comparison to the 2 Nebraska tracks that we've ran so far this season. Fauna Park over in Grand Island, over in Lincoln, both tracks running kind of with a little bit of a speed bias, at least in the handicapping perspective. Is that kind of a similar story here in the 1 mile track at Columbus?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year. They did make a change. The fans wanted a change this year. Last year, in their first year, the finish line was kind of in a standard finish line position, most of the way down the stretch. But when they built this track, the grandstand does not sit at the finish line. So it's going to be a shorter run out of the turn to the finish line. So, it's going to be interesting to see whether a speed bias holds up or not. Now, last year, horses were able to rally off the pace. And an interesting note last year is it seems like the rail was not the favoring position. Horses that rallied were out in the middle of the track. So, it makes it tough the first couple days to make selections because you can't predict what that track bias is going to be. But we're doing our best to kind of go off of last year and hope that we've got the ideas. And I'm hoping I got a double thing here going. It's Friday the 13th, very lucky day, and then we'll take and hopefully have some birthday selections, for tomorrow, and all the luck pulls in and we make some money.
All right, that's what we like to hear, making money. That's what we're all about on this particular show, Jimmy. Speaking of selections, what do you got? Is this, I think I saw yesterday, it's a 6-race card on Fridays. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. It is a 6-race card. Like I said, it starts at 5 p.m. It's supposed to be, we've listened to your weather reports. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, no wind. Some sunshine. There is umbrellas out there on some of the tables. So, like I said, we're looking at a great opportunity. And I really, when I look at selections today for Friday, there's a couple horses that kind of stand out to me. It's a little tougher trying to find a long shot in a 6-race field, but So when we look at things today, my best bet is going to come out in the, let me get to it here. We're going to start out with a horse called Verb. And Verb was racing down at Oaklawn Park earlier this year. He's in race 2, number 1, by the way. And since he come into Dave Anderson's barn, Dave also, little note, was leading trainer down at Legacy. He had a win percentage of 54%, and he was almost 80% of his horses were in the money. That's just kind of unheard of. But Verb's going to come in here. He was beat last time by one of his competitors today, Macho Gifted. Macho Gifted went wire to wire and held off Verb, but we're changing the distance today, and I think Verb's going to get a better run at him. And we're going to find out what that bias is, but I think Verb is going to be a very good bet there. And
Noticed,
going on to today, if we're looking for go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, and if we're looking for a long shot, we're going to jump all the way to race 5 and horse number 5, Go Forever. Like I said, it's kind of hard to find a clear long shot in when there's only 6 races. And when we look at this, Go Forever's dropping down in class. He gets a change of rider, and I think that's a huge thing there, is the change of rider. He went off as a lukewarm favorite last time and failed. That was his worst start of the year, and I look for that horse to bounce back. It is a short field. I think if we can get like 3 or 4 to 1, I'll be really happy there. And so that's kind of my play for today on the races there on 2 that I'll be watching closely.
Again, Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us here on Huddle Up this morning as we preview the card at Harrah's Columbus and taking just a look at things. You mentioned kind of tough to gauge things in the early goings here on how that track's all going to lay out. But I think one of the advantages we have to handicapping, especially on this Friday card, Jim, is you've got a lot of horses in these fields that have been consistent finishers throughout the last couple years, and I think that kind of just their consistency of always being towards the top helps out handicapping a little bit today.
It does. I mean, and it's also a thing you look at consistently year in and year out. You'll have the same jockeys, the same trainers doing well, and so when they're bringing horses in, you know that helps you sort things out too. If you see a trainer that, whether it's been at Fauner Park, Lincoln, or Prairie Meadows, or Warren, they're not winning, you know, is it going to change their luck to come to Columbus? You know, probably not. So, you know, you kind of look at the not only just the horse, but the trainers and the jockeys as well.
Again, Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us here as the Nebraska racing focus has moved on to Columbus. So, Jimmy, do we see a lot of the horses that we maybe saw at Fauner Park and Lincoln? Have they just moved on to Columbus, or is this a new batch of ponies coming into the Columbus meet?
No, this is basically the same horses. You know, the horses that we see on the Nebraska circuit the whole time. You'll see a couple come in, shipping in for some of the stakes races. Now, this weekend, there is no stakes race. There's a couple nice allowance races. Next week, we'll start the stakes program. They'll run the Amadevil Stakes for some quality Nebraska-bred horses. But we're looking at the same horses. So it helps to, you know, follow them all year, see what's out there and stuff. And, you know, we talk about consistency, and that's what one of the things I look at for one of my picks tomorrow. He's not in my best bet. He's not my long shot. But we look at race 6 and a horse called Tribal Spirit. Tribal Spirit run pretty good last year throughout the year. He's done okay, nothing exceptional this year. But last year, when he raced at Harrah's Columbus, he raced 4 times. He had all 4 wins at Columbus last year, and he's coming back tomorrow at Columbus. And you really have to keep an eye on that. And he gets Jose Medina, so you know that's something to look at there. But it's an angle I'm going to play.
Angle that you're going to play, and you're going to play on your birthday, which is tomorrow. Celebrating on Saturday. As far as icing on the cake for the birthday is concerned, Jim, do you have a long shot play on Saturday's card that you think is going to hit and make some money for you on the birthday?
Well, I hope so. I'm going to go all the way, kind of go all in on my long shot in race 4, number 5, the Bigger Bear. I don't know if you've checked out my site there on the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network page, but the owner and the trainer has already chimed in on me picking that horse. What a jinx I've done for her. Annie Hansen-Hines has a bigger bear, and she had to comment, "Oh, thanks for jinxing me by picking me to win." But she's been pretty hot hand lately. She's won a couple stakes races. Finishing off Lincoln, she was really putting it together, and I look for her horses to do well. So the bigger bear comes in. He's faced some good competition and come close. He was a beaten favorite last time out, but the added distance of going to 6 furlongs for the bigger bear, although he stretched out and tried a mile before, I think 6 furlongs is his best distance. So that's a horse that I'm going to be playing on Saturday. And you want to go for, I'm not sure this horse will pay much, but you never know. Race 2, number 4, my best bet of the weekend is Jake the Great. He does his best running going a route. He stretches out after a sprint last time, so that's one of those horses going from the sprint to the route. It looks like this horse ought to be able to control the pace on the lead or possibly just lay off of it. He's got good tactical speed, and it's a horse I really like. I'm just not sure how to play him because I feel his odds might be pretty low.
And Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us like he does each and every Friday on the show. Jimmy, as usual, you've got all your picks up. You're following the Columbus races as well, so people can still follow the picks right there on your Facebook page.
Yes, they can. They can follow it all on the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. And one of the things that we're going to do coming up here, the Triple Crown is over. Sovereignty, man, that was a heck of a horse last weekend in winning the Belmont Stakes. But, with the Triple Crown being over now, I guess the next big feature that we start looking forward to is the Breeders' Cup. And that's not until the late fall. But there's races leading up to it. It's the Breeders' Cup Challenge where winning you're in races. So we'll see some of the best horses in some of the best stakes races trying to make their way to Del Mar out in California this year. So we'll start following some of them races and watch for trends and try to get some horses for you there. And one I'm already looking at run just yesterday. Kind of the 2-year-olds are just starting to hit the track, but Bob Baffert set one out in California yesterday. If you have a virtual stable, I recommend you put this horse in there. It's a horse called Hamika, and that's spelled with an H, Himika. Very royally bred by Curlin, out of Motivated Seller by Endomistia. And this horse had been training, word was out that he'd been training with a lot of older horses. So you usually don't see 2-year-olds in training with an older horses. And basically he run a $60,000 workout yesterday watching this filly run. So, let's keep an eye on that one, and we'll keep the listeners up to date next time it runs and see if we can make some money on Hamika.
I'm looking to add it to my virtual stable. How do you spell it?
It is spelled Himika. And this was a filly that sold earlier this year at the Calo breeder sale. Sold for $900,000, which, by terms of racing, that's quite a bit of money, but, we see some sell for a lot more than that. This one kind of flew under the radar, I would think, watching it run yesterday at $900,000, the potential for this horse. Yes, that was only a 5 furlong race, but that horse come out, just laid behind the leaders. You watch the jockey and you're going, man, he looks like he's sitting on a lot of horse. They turned for home. The jockey shook the reins, and that horse just blew by him. Hand rode it all the way to the finish. Good time, won by like 6 lengths. And, like I said, it was a paid workout is what it looked like to me.
Jimmy, I thought I would have some extra cash in the pot to maybe help you out buying a horse. I hit the trifecta last week, and I saw the payout, and I was blessed with $27 and some change on the trifecta last week.
Well, now let's take and parlay that back. We'll find a something to parlay that back on, and maybe we can turn that 27 into 150, and then we'll take that and a couple of races we keep parlaying this. We'll have it, Mike.
Okay, we've got somebody chiming in. We've got somebody chiming in. Jimmy is looking for 100-to-1 shot on anybody this weekend. Is there anything like that on the Columbus races this weekend?
If you're going to bet 100-to-1 shot, gosh, not at Columbus. We're not going to see that. And if I had 100-to-1 shot that I really liked, trust me, I'd be probably pretty quiet on that one.
Yeah, I would be.
I don't want him down to 80. I got to finance this horse.
All right, so
yeah, if you're free today, come on out to the track. It's going to be a great day of racing. Weather's going to be beautiful. 5 o'clock, come out after work. Like I said, have a couple refreshments. Whether you're a casual bettor or your first time out here, they'll help you through wagering. You don't have to bet a lot to have fun at the races.
All right, Jimmy, always a pleasure checking in with you each and every Friday here. We'll keep you up to date on the Columbus races and beyond. So enjoy your day in Columbus. Get over to the casino a little bit and put $1 or $2 on the red, on the roulette wheel. Just $1 or $2 on the red.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to go red. And then we'll take that and we'll parlay it on the number 1 horse that's also red.
Nice.
And there we go.
Yeah,
starting birthday weekend off nice.
We're going to do that, and we're going to have to start working on this. I'm going to get with my marketing crew, and we're going to get this bourbon thing going so we have this ready to go for next year. And
I love it.
And so that we can get that camper to Churchill.
I love it. And then we get the horse. We call him Shot Challenge. It'll be great. Jim, happy early birthday. Thanks for joining us on Huddle Up.
Thanks, guys. You have a great day.
All right, Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us each and every Friday here on Huddle Up. Boy, we're giving him a workout this year. Started off with Fodder Park. We moved him on to Lincoln, and now he's up in Columbus.
And we want to take the show out to Churchill.
No wonder our bank account is being drained. We're spending it on the horses.
Well, what else are we going to spend it on? Come on.
God.
Isn't that why we're doing this show, so we can put money in our gambling account?
We're trying to. It's not working well. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up for Friday the 13th. A couple other notes we gave you. We talked about the U.S. Open. Denny Hamlin is in the news today.
Uh-oh.
He's going to miss NASCAR's first international race of the modern era to remain in North Carolina following the birth of his child.
Uh-huh.
Ryan Truex will replace him Sunday in Mexico City. The 44-year-old Hamlin will snap his streak of 406 consecutive starts. He last missed a race in 2014 out in California because of an eye irritation. So Denny's staying home after the birth of his third child. Ryan Truex will take over the number 11 car this weekend. Mexico City evidently is a mess right now. I don't know why in the hell we're even racing in Mexico City.
I was just going to ask, given the current status between the two countries, and I say that meaning it's not 100% reciprocal, but given the current political climate, is it even a good idea to run there?
Great idea by NASCAR again.
Can't we just say, hey, let's go run a road course anywhere else?
Yeah, I don't know why we're racing in Mexico City because, you had that one comment there about the political aspect. They're having trouble even getting there.
Oh, no doubt.
They're having trouble even getting there. The Xfinity teams, I understand, are having trouble even getting into Mexico. And now there's rain in the forecast for this weekend. And where they're at in Mexico City, they have a tendency to flood.
I mean, at some point you just got to say, hey, this isn't the greatest idea.
No,
no, it was a great idea to start with. We wanted to expand and globalize the sport. But at this current point in the game, we should probably pull out of this decision.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell we're even doing there.
Wow.
And I just hope everything turns out okay and we get back to the States and run to the rest of the NASCAR season. Not looking forward to racing this weekend in Mexico City. Maybe it'll be all right. Maybe it'll be all right, but my first, just reading everything, all the troubles they're having even getting to Mexico City for the race.
Knee-jerk reaction, gut feeling, it's not great.
No. So anyway, that's going on in NASCAR.
I wanted to hit up one thing with you, and we'll just dive on this quickly. We don't need to go in depth or anything, but the Antonio Brown news is just gut wrenching. Antonio Brown now wanted for murder from a celebrity boxing event. And
wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was breaking news that came through my phone last night. Antonio Brown is wanted for murder. Apparently, this happened at a celebrity boxing event. Anyways, did notice that, and just, I mean,
was he in the boxing event?
Don't have
too
many other details than that.
All right.
But it was just, he had a troubled career, and it was often highlighted by drama. He had so much talent, but just couldn't get out of his own head, and you'd hate for this to be how that story ends.
All right, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Some breaking news, so to speak. 7:56, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning on Huddle Up.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We start off at the University of Nebraska-Kearney, where a new $95 million health science education center is currently under construction at the University of Nebraska-Kearney. It's set to open early next year. The 110,000 square foot facility, developed in partnership with the University of Nebraska Medical Center, aims to address the critical shortage of healthcare professionals in rural Nebraska. The project builds upon the success of the existing health and science education complex, which opened in 2015 and currently serves over 300 students. Meanwhile, the individual who tragically lost his life after being struck by a train in Wood River on the evening of June 8th has been identified as Jason Polka, a 44-year-old resident of Illinois. The Hall County Sheriff's Office reported that deputies responded to the incident and found Polka's abandoned vehicle nearby. It appears the death was self-inflicted. Authorities are continuing with their investigation. City of Hastings Business Improvement District is hosting an open house to discuss the future of public art in downtown Hastings. The open house is part of the ongoing development of the Heartbeat Creative District, which was designated as a Nebraska Creative District back in November. The district encompasses the historic downtown area and aims to utilize the arts as an economic driver to support the community by telling its stories and elevating the value of art. The event will take place on Tuesday, June 25th from 5 to 6:30 at the Hastings Public Library. I wanted to get to just quickly more on the Antonio Brown story before I flip it over to sports. Former wideout Antonio Brown detained by police last month following an incident that took place at a celebrity boxing event. According to the Washington Post, he is wanted on attempted murder charges from a fight that allegedly took place between Brown and several other individuals shortly before midnight. So he was not in the fight, he was just at the fights, and it was attempted murder charges that he is being booked on. So 7:58. With that, let's flip it back over to Mike Will for your check on sports.
All right, College World Series gets underway today in Omaha. Your first game at 1, Coastal Carolina against Arizona, followed by Oregon State against Louisville at 6. Tomorrow, UCLA will play Murray State at 1, followed by Arkansas against LSU at 6. Grand Island Senior High has announced some coaching changes for the upcoming season. Damon Rodriguez will take over the girls wrestling program. Rodriguez has been with the Barr Middle School girls and boys wrestling program for the past year. Robert Almquist is the new boys soccer coach. He's been an assistant with the program since 2016. Bailey Moritz is the new cheerleading coach. Moritz served as the cheer coach at Bellevue West in 2023. She's also served as the special education teacher at Howard Elementary. Legion baseball last night, Hastings 5 points over Wesco Zephyrs, 11-3. Johnson Imperial Homes over Rapid City, 11-3. Sodbusters last night beat Casper 4-0. Sodbusters will be at home taking on Casper tonight in Hastings as they begin a 3-game series now in Hastings. First pitch tonight will be at 6:35. The Royals last night losing to the New York Yankees by the score of 1-0. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:59.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Warm summer-like conditions continue as we head into the weekend and beyond. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. Today, we'll have a day with no wind almost, and that'll be great. 87 is the high, just a slight chance for a few showers. Southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we'll have partly cloudy skies, an overnight low of 65. On Saturday, an outside chance for a few passing storms. Other than that, 92 degrees. 90 on Sunday and 90s next week.
South winds this morning at 6. We've got sunny skies now. 68 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
June is busting out in live music at Mulata Vista Winery. This is Mick, and there is nothing like a summer's evening out on our patio, especially when it's filled with great music, award-winning wines, and mouth-watering foods. Saturday on June 7th, you can come enjoy country music sounds of Grant Pickrell. Grant is from Fullerton. Then on the 21st, it's classic rock and country from Eben Rosentrader. Make your reservations now on our website at MulataVistaWinery.com. Come see us, Mulata Vista Winery, St. Paul, Nebraska. Learn more on Facebook or on our website.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Raceway brings the action every Friday night with high-speed thrills and dirt-flying excitement for the whole family. From A-class and non-wing warriors to junior sprints, junior cage karts, and flat karts, there's something for every race fan to cheer for. Grandstands open at 7. Ages 13 and up are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Want to be part of the action? Pit passes are just $20, with gates opening at 5:30. And mark your calendars. June 27th and 28th, the now 600 National Series comes to town, featuring drivers from all over the nation and some of the best racing you'll see all season. Cam Raceway, where the dirt flies and legends are made.
All right, so they'll be racing tonight at Cam Raceway. Invite you to come on out and enjoy the action. Cam Raceway in Hastings. If you can't be there in person, you can always watch it live on our video stream. Just go to our website, click on the racing tab there at the top of the page, follow the instructions, and we'll get you set up with a live video feed of the racing action tonight right there from the comfort of your own home, or maybe out on your patio, or down at the lake.
Or wherever.
Be able to watch the racing action live from Cam Raceway. All right.
I did some homework over the commercial break. We've got 4 Jell-O shot flavors. They come in looks like a green. I don't know if that's a green apple, or they also come in yellow, which I'm sure is lemon lime. We've got blue and red. Rocco's posting pictures of our VSIN crew, very own VSIN crew, downing some Jell-O shots on the broadcast. Their setup, by the way, VSIN setup, phenomenal for their on-the-road shows. You should take a look at the Rocco's Pizza and Cantina Facebook page and take a look at VSIN's setup. It's remarkable.
So they're inside?
They're having all the fun inside.
So they don't have an RV parked outside in their parking lot?
No, they're right in front of the front window.
Yeah, taking up 15 spaces.
Don't have an RV in the parking lot, taking up 15 spaces with
so
two
they're right in
schmucks
front of
that can't hit a golf ball.
They're right in front of the window?
Yeah. With
all
the
right.
Great backdrop of the stadium. They're doing it right.
All right, so hang in there with us even when we're finished here. We got a lot of programming coming up from the College World Series with the VSIN crew live from Rocco's. How come they didn't call us? How come they didn't call us and want us to join them on the VSIN set?
Well, you said it first, the budget.
Well, wait.
You send 2 schmucks like us to a Jell-O shot challenge to join them. You know I have no restraint. That alone would punch a pretty penny in the VSIN budget with me and you just doing Jell-O shots the entire time.
You know what? For the weekend, since we can't be at Rocco's, make it a point to have a Jell-O shot or 2. No, wherever you are, lift that Jell-O shot up high and toast to the boys and girls at Rocco's in Omaha.
That are making all the money. Oh, my God.
$5 a shot.
I can't imagine. $5 a shot, and you're probably getting tipped $1 for bringing the shot out to them. Those bartenders are making bank. They're making scratch. They're paying 3 months' rent.
They probably make their entire...
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're Rocco's, you're probably making your entire bank in the College World Series.
I mean, at least half.
Oh,
at
yeah.
least half of it.
No doubt
So
about
anyways, I did find out about Rocco's. Don't know when they open. Don't know if we can step on their door at 7 o'clock in the morning and be ready to roll for
well, after you make
Rocco's.
some calls over the next couple of days, then we'll have that information.
We'll have that info.
That is your homework assignment.
There you go.
Again, you've got about 8 days to complete your assignment.
I'm going to do it day 7. You know that.
Get them on the show. We're going to talk about it. You keep us up to date on the Jell-O shot contest. We'll get an update on Monday. I'm heading to the lake this weekend.
Finally, you got a good weekend for it.
I hope so. What's your plans? You've got the Busters in town, so
as of as of this morning, the weekend forecast looks great. Busters are in town. I'll be rejoining the Sod Busters on Sunday. This is my big First Street weekend. We're doing an outdoor event tonight at Brickyard Park for the
that's right, yeah,
for the concert, free concert put on by the Trib, and revitalizing and getting Brickyard Park back to that live music amphitheater that we all know and love growing up here in Hastings. So looking forward to that. I'll be pouring some pints out there. We're gonna have a little beer garden and be bringing some of our best stuff. And then Saturday night we're gonna be busy with the Cajun food truck. He'll be in town, and he always brings in such a big crowd, and so he'll stay there through lunch and supper. And so that'll be a big draw for us. I'll be working again Saturday night, and then it's back to the Busters for Sunday as they get set to
wrap up their series
for the weekend. Yeah,
wrap up their series with Casper. Played 4 games in Casper. Now they're playing 3 games in Hastings.
The Casper Suds or Spuds. I still like Suds better.
Yeah, they're officially called the Spuds, but by the end of the year weekend, it might be the Suds.
Well, especially if we have a Jell-O shot or 2.
All right, so that's what's going on. After we've talked Jell-O shots all hour,
Feeling
I'm ready
thirsty?
for one. I'm ready for one. What were my choices again? Red, blue,
green, yellow.
Green or yellow? I probably have to go red.
And who are you tossing it on? We talked about it this week. You were going to find yourself a CWS favorite. Who are you chalking up in the Rocco's Jello Shot Challenge? Who is Mike Will supporting in the College World Series?
I'll go Arkansas.
Hog Suey. I knew it.
I'll go Arkansas.
I'm gonna rock the world here. I'm not gonna go Murray State. I will go LSU. Closely followed by Murray State. That's like a 1A and 1B scenario.
Is that to win the Jello Shot contest or to win the College World Series?
That is who I'm pulling for to win the College World Series. LSU with my head, Murray State probably with my heart.
Okay, I'm going to Arkansas.
Yep.
Dave Van Horn, former Husker coach.
Sure.
All right.
I hate it.
So enjoy your weekend. Lots going on this weekend. Enjoy your weekend, either as sporting-wise or just get out and enjoy a nice summer day. Although it's not officially summer yet, it's going to feel like it with highs basically in the 90s. Had a great show today. If you'd like to listen to it again, maybe listen to Jimmy's predictions, go to our social media sites and download the podcast section, and you'll be able to listen to this show at your convenience anytime. Our discussion in the first half hour about Rocco's, you can revisit that. Anyway, listen to it again. Thanks for joining us here on Huddle Up for another week. Have yourself a great weekend.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.
Six